Welcome to today's webinar on automation pre-sales and sales workflows with Zoho Writer. I'm Sini, your host for this session, and joining me today is Gautam, one of our product experts at Zoho Writer. And with me, we also have Vignesh here with us, who will be answering your questions during the session. And also at the end of this session, we have a dedicated Q&A session where we will also be answering the questions live. So here we'll be showing you how pre-sales and sales team can simplify and automate their documentation. So glad to have you here, Gautam.
Thanks, Sini. Hello, everyone. So I'm really looking forward to sharing how Zoho Writer can transform your sales documentation, making it faster to create, easier to personalize, and much more efficient to manage.
Exactly. So from proposals and quotes to contracts and agreements, documents are at the core of every pre-sales and sales process.
And with Writer, these aren't just static files. They can be dynamic, data-driven, and seamlessly integrate with your CRM or other sales tools.
So over the next hour, we'll walk you through practical pre-sales and sales scenarios and with some live demos and share you tips to help you cut down on repetitive manual work in your document workflows.
If you have ever struggled with version control, lost time-consuming proposals, or delays in closing deals due to documentation, you'll see how Writer can help you solve all these challenges in this session. So let's dive in.
Great. So before we jump into the webinar, here are a few checkpoints. So please use the Q&A pan to post any questions you may have during the session. As I said, our product expert will be answering those questions throughout the webinar. And for the best viewing experience, switch to the top bar or sidebar layout by clicking on the three dots in your meeting toolbar. Also, please know that the recording of this session will be shared to all the registrants once it is available. So let's take a quick look at today's agenda here. So we'll begin with a short introduction and some feature highlights of Zoho Writer. From there, we'll move into pre-sales activities like generating initial sales documents, creating NDA documents, and interactive quote generations. Next, we'll cover NDA signing and move into core sales documents such as invoices and sales orders. After that, we'll explore post-sales documentation like service completion reports, followed by a few additional supporting documents. And not to worry, we'll also have demo sessions lined up for each of these scenarios so you can see exactly how they work in real time. Finally, we'll wrap up with a sneak peek at what's cooking inside Zoho Writer. And finally, we'll also have a sneak peek of additional question and answers that we can share off. So since we are treating this session as a journey, we thought the best way to walk you through is by picking a scenario and showing how pre-sales and sales documents can be managed at every step. So Gautam, would you like to share the scenario that we have chosen for the day?
Absolutely, Sini. So for this webinar, we are focusing on partner service team that manages end-to-end sales. So we'll follow up their documentation workflow from the first pre-sales documents through contracts, quotes, and orders, all the way to post-sales reports. So this way, you'll see how Writer supports every stage, keeping documents smart, data-driven, and seamlessly connected to your CRM and other tools. And before we get into the scenario, let's take a look at some of the key features that makes it all possible. So when it comes to Writer, to start with, Writer provides rich editing tools so your business documents, whether it's proposals, NDAs, or contracts, are always standardized and professional. It also makes teamwork easier with collaborative authoring, so sales and legal teams can work together on the same document in real time. Next, Writer gives you the flexibility to set up customizable automation triggers. A document can be generated manually or on trigger when a document is submitted, or even at a scheduled time. So depending on your sales operation, you can choose any one of the triggers and simply generate the documents. Then we have fillable fields and e-signature support, which helps you to capture client inputs and close agreements faster. And finally, Writer offers powerful post-merge workflows. So once a document is created, you can send it for sign, store it securely in Work Drive, or share it via email, or even send and collect additional data using the fillable fields. So these capabilities form the foundation of the scenario that we are about to explore.
Great. Thank you so much for setting the expectations here, Gautam. So now that we have looked at the features, so let's talk about how sales documents are actually built in the organizations. So typically this starts with the legal team. So they create standardized templates that can be used across the pre-sales and sales teams. And these templates ensure that documents like NDAs, proposals, or contracts maintain compliance and consistency while also saving time for the sales team. So once the templates are ready, they can be reused by anyone in the organization without starting from scratch each time. So with that in mind, let's move to our first scenario. So let's put this into action with a real example here. Let's say, imagine the legal team is preparing an NDA. They add auto fields and fillable fields and then loop in team members for input and collaborate in real time until it's finalized. Once approved, the NDA is saved as an organization-wide template for the pre-sales and sales teams to use on demand. So Gautam, can you walk us through how this comes together in Zoho Writer?
Let's see. Let me show you how this comes together in Writer. So let me quickly jump into the document section. And here you can see that I've already created a document. And if you'd like, you can also create a document using the AI. So just by giving some prompts, you'll be able to generate a beautifully structured document in Zoho Writer. So all you have to do is just click on the AI tool by clicking on Create New and selecting AI. So you can just give your prompt. So you can just add more prompts according to your preference and then create the document using this AI tool. So now I'll also have 3 different options once the document gets generated. So according to my preference, whether it needs to be professional or classic or even modern, I'll be able to choose the required type and then go ahead and create the document with a simple click. So here you can see that the professional document is now created, and there is a casual one, and there will be another one as well. So now if you'd like, you can also add more prompts and go ahead and regenerate it, or you can just directly go ahead and use this. So now once this creation of is done, what you can do is you can tailor it more specific to your organization. So now what are the various options that we have in Writer is that we provide fields like date fields. So here you can see that the main idea is to create a document so that all the users within the organization can use this as a template and create documents whenever they require. So in this case, you can see that I have added date fields so that whenever the document is opened, dynamically today's date will be generated. So in order to insert this, you just have to get into the fields section from the left panel. So get into the field section from the left panel, and here you can see that there is a date field. So here we have various date options available. So you can just simply click on dynamic today's date, and then the date format will be inserted into your document. And further moving on, these are the auto fields available. So you have options like fillable fields as well. So you can insert the fillable fields so that once the document is generated, and if you're sharing with your clients, you'll be able to collect additional information from your clients or customers as well. And furthermore, moving on, we also have inserted signature fields into this document. And not only that, we just wanted to make sure that this document is valid only for a year. So what we have done is we have added another date field with a calculation. So here you can see that I have added a date field with dynamic today's date as the preset value. And I have added 1 year from the today's date so that once the document is generated, the value of this document would be only for a year. So according to your preference, you'll be able to use these date calculation and add auto fields into the document. So now, once the generation and the creation of this document is done, all you have to do is just send the document for workflow. So if there is an internal workflow, you can just go ahead and make use of a review or review and approval process. So let me just go ahead and use the approval workflow and set a workflow. So now all I have to do is just enter the details and send the document for approval. And once the approval is completed and once it's ready to be set as an organization template, all I have to do is just get into the file and go to save as template and select as organization template and give a template a name and then save. So once this process is done, what will happen is all my team members will be able to access this template and they'll be able to create a document using the template which I have saved. So this is how easy it is for you to create and generate documents using AI, and you'll be able to add multiple fields and like fillable, sign and auto fields into the document and then save it as organization template. So as mentioned in the scenario, the legal team can make use of these functionalities and create the document and then simply save it as organization template for the sales and the pre-sales team to use these documents.
That's great. Thank you so much for walking us through the interactive, the document generation on this using AI, Gautam. So now let's move on to the next scenario here. So this gives us a clear view of how standardized templates are built. So let's step into the pre-sales stage here, where the focus is often on quotes and contracts. So here, accuracy and speed are the key. Imagine being able to handle your customers' interactive quote, where they can choose the service they want and instantly see the updated pricing. So this eliminates back and forth and ensures everyone is aligned from the start. So in this scenario, the pre-sales team creates a quotes form that can be embedded on the company's website. So customers can select their service, view totals as they go, and once they submit, a pre-filled quote document is automatically generated and shared with them. So Gautam, let's show everyone how this works in real time using the writer.
Definitely, Srini. So in Writer, this is a recently released feature. So you can see that we have developed a subform table in the fillable field, which will allow you to generate a document which is interactive and it will show real-time values to the customers. So in this case, you can see that I've created a merge template, and in the merge template, I am filling data from my data source, such as the name, the customer's email, phone number, and the partner information as well. So now, once this information is added into the template, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a subform table from the fillable section. So for that, I'm getting into the fields tab from the left panel and I'm going to the fillable fields. And here you can see that the new feature, which is the subform table. So now I've inserted this as a subform table. So let me also show you how to insert this in real time. So now I have inserted a subform table, and here you can see that the second row in here is a repeatable subform table, so that the values that I add will be repeated according to my data source. So now I can use the first row as an header, and in the second row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add fillable fields. So I'm adding a text field, and I'm just pre-filling the information from my data source. So here you can see that I am adding a So before that, I'll just go ahead and select the subform in which I have to make this configuration. Now I'm just going to select the subform which I'm going to use for the configuration purpose. So if I have multiple subforms, I'll be able to choose between the options, and then only those fields will be able to you'll be able to only insert those fields into the particular row. So now I'm just creating it as a text field. And now I'm going to pre-fill the information using my fields from my data source. So here, this is a product name. So now I'll just use the product name as the information that needs to be pre-filled. So now I have did the similar configuration in the table previously as well. So I'm just going to stop it from now, and I'll show you what are the information that I've added. So here you can see that I've added unit price, and I've added a checkbox in order to, so that the users can select the service that they require. And in the product name, I have configured the product name as the pre-filled value, and I have left quantity as an interactive field so that the users will be able to enter the number of products that they require. And also in the formula, I've used some product, and here is the formula for your reference. So here I've used some product from B1 to B2, C1 to C2, and D1 to D2. And I've also added the format, which is going to be currency, so that the user who's going to submit the form will get a real-time value of the total amount that needs to be paid. So now, once this operation is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the automate tab and going to run the merge. Yeah, I've initiated the merge now. So my aim is to merge the pre-filled information that I already have in my document, in my data source, and then create a document and collect additional information. So in this scenario, I am a partner team and I have multiple services. So my customer is going to select the required services, and then they're going to check out the total amount that needs to be paid. So this will give them a tentative amount that needs to be paid, and from that we'll take it to the next process. So just wait for the email to be received. So here is an email, and here is the fillable link that I need to fill. Okay, so here you can see that the entire information, like the customer details, partner details, is already pre-filled. And furthermore, I have got the list of services rendered by the partner team, which is the Zilker Partner Solutions. So now you can see that the unit price for each category is defined in here. So all I have to do is just enter the quantity and select if I require this or not. So as I select, you can see that dynamically the total value is getting updated. So similarly, let's say I have I need integration service and I require 3 applications to be integrated. So I'm selecting 3, and you can see that based on the service price and the quantity, the total amount is getting updated automatically. So similarly, if I require support services, it's going to be 1. And let's say I require training and I require multiple training sessions. So I'll enter, let's say, 5 trainings. So here you can see that as I enter the quantity, the total value is getting updated automatically. So now all I have to do is just go ahead and hit submit, so that this will provide a clear value or clear information to your customers on what is the amount that they need to be paying you for your service that you're rendering. And similarly, this document can also be saved to your required location, or furthermore, you can also optimize the output of this particular document according to your preference. So this is actually a new release feature that we have done. So please do try this out, and you'll be able to make sure that you have an interactive document in your hand.
Great. Thank you, Gautam, for walking us through the interactive code demo. That was really helpful in understanding how pre-sales teams can streamline their quoting process. So now let's move on to another important scenario, which is contract agreement signing. So here the partner team prepares a client contract in Zoho Writer, adding fillable fields for clients' inputs and conditional clauses that adjust based on the contract values. So the document is then shared with the client for their inputs, and internally, the team collaborates, reviews, and approves the contract with comments. So once this is finalized, the contract is signed digitally, ensuring compliance, accuracy, and also faster onboarding process is done. So can you show us a quick demo on this contract agreement process?
Definitely, Siri. So, definitely, Sam. Yes, we'll have a quick look on the contract agreement signing. So, let me quickly jump over to the contract document that I've created in Writer. So, here is the partner contract. So, here you can see that we have various information like the merge fields, which is the partner name, partner address, partner email, etc. And we also have the customer information like customer name, customer's address, etc. And furthermore, we have a table which contains the implemented services current rate and the proposed rate. And under final agreed rate, we have a fillable field. So using this fillable field, what we are going to do is we are going to make sure that we are negotiating this with the customers. So we'll be able to share this document with the customer and we'll be able to negotiate the terms according to our preference. So in order to negotiate, let me show you what we can do. And here you can further see that I have also added an if else. So if the contract value is greater than 500, then you can see that I'm going to ask the customer to pay certain percentage upfront, and they can pay the remaining percentage after the completion of the integration or the services that they require. Whereas if it is lesser than 500, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask the customer to directly pay the amount using the payment cycle and the payment method. And not only that, there is also a late payment for late payment interest per month. So these are the values that I have configured, and I've used conditions. And not only that, I have also added signature fields in this document since it's an agreement. So a contract agreement typically requires a signature to bind legally. So we have added a signature field as well. So now, once this configuration is done, what we have to do is just go ahead and run the merge. So once you run the merge, you will be able to get a document like this. So this is the document. So here you can see that we have the client information, that is the partner company, the customer company information, and by scrolling down, you'll be able to see the current rate, proposed rate, and the final agreed rate. So all these information are available. And similarly, these fillable fields are going to be entered by the customers. So for that, what we are going to do is we are going to go to the review tab. So by going to the review tab, and under the review tab, you'll find an option called track changes. So just enable this option, and what you have to do is you have to share the document to the customer. So while sharing, you can make use of this option called edit field valued access. So when you provide this access, what will happen is the customer will be able to open the document and they'll be able to only edit the field values, which is the fillable fields that you have inserted in the document. And also, since we have enabled track changes, even if they add content into the final agreed rate, only when you agree, you'll be able to accept the final contract. So let me show you how it works. So I have the document open in here in my other account. So this is, let's say this is the customer's account, and here I have the option to add the agreed upon rate. So here, let's say I'm adding, so the current rate is $12 and the proposed rate is 10. So let's just say I want $8. So I've added 8, and here, let's say its proposed rate is 7, but I want only $5. So now I have added the dollars for the final agreed rate. So let me quickly jump over to the document section. So here you can see that the changes has been provided to me in here. So Gautam has replaced the agreed rate with $8. So let's just say I'm not agreeing with the implementation service. So I'm just going to reject this rate. Whereas the support agreed rate is pretty okay for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to accept this $5, which is going to be the final agreed rate. So now in this document, you can see that the $5 is getting updated, whereas since I rejected the implementation service date, it is getting rejected. So this way we'll be able to negotiate between the customer and between the partner. And once all the negotiation process is completed, what we can do is we can simply get into the automate tab under the left panel and go to the sign template, convert this as a sign template and send this document for signature. So this is how easy it is for you to collaborate and use track changes for collaboration with the terms. And once the terms are agreed, you can simply convert this as a sign template and then send the document for signature.
That's great. Thank you so much for the demo on contract signing, Gautam. So now let's run a quick poll here. So it's great to see that how track changes and collaborative reviews make negotiating terms and agreeing on prices makes so much easier. So now let's move on to the sales document. So in this category, we focus on invoice generation and sales order management. So these documents are critical for closing deals, ensuring accurate billing and keeping the order process smooth and efficient. So now let's see this in action with example scenario. So the partner team needs to send a single or collaborative invoice to a client using Zoho Writer. They can include itemized billing details along with a tailored support SLA, so that client receives one branded document covering both financial and service commitments. So this approach eliminates multiple files here and also making communication clear and professional, which ensures that both financial and service information is accurately represented. So it's time to see it in action. So Gautam.
Thank you so much, Srini. So definitely, as you mentioned, an itemized statement can be sent using Zoho Writer. But in order to add the tailored support SLA documents, so for example, if the user has selected two different services, we also need to add the SLA documents for that. So in this case, the simple automation will not allow you to perform these operations. So that's why we have the advanced merge operation. So here you can see that I have already set up an advanced merge operation. So let me show you how to add this and configure this so that you'll be able to get a clear idea. So, but before getting into that, let me show you how we have built the invoice. So here you can see that this is the invoice document that we have created from scratch in Zoho Writer. And here we have the build to information and the date issued, which is going to be dynamically pulled. So this is going to be dynamic today's date. So based on that, we are also adding the due date. So which is 15 days from today's date. So that within that, the customer has to make the payment. And now further moving on, we have the transaction details, transaction type, and the contact reference number, etc. And furthermore, we also have the services and charges, which is a subform table. And we have pulled these details from Zoho CRM. So as you can see in my data source on the left panel, which is Zoho CRM, I've selected this as a data source. And in my CRM, I have a module called sales invoices, and I'm going to use that for my purpose. So let's just take this example. So here you can see that I have all the necessary information that needs to generate an invoice along with the services that is the chosen by the customer and the unit price and the total information. So now what I'm going to do is using these information, I'm going to generate a document, and along with the document, I'm also going to add these SLA documents as well. So let me show you these SLA documents. here you can see that I have training SLA, support SLA, integration services SLA. So these are the documents that I'm going to attach dynamically, so that based on the user selection, I'll be able to attach these documents into the invoice and then send it out. So this is an example of an integration services SLA document. So I'm going to add these in my invoice as well. So let me show you how to configure and achieve this. In the invoice, what I'm going to do is I have also added the formulas and other information here. So now once this operation is completed, I'm going to go to the advanced merge section. And in the advanced merge section, you can see that I'm triggering this manually on basis. And here I have added the merge and store card. So using the data information from CRM, I'm going to merge and generate a document. And furthermore, I'm going to add filters in order to filter according to my preference. So we support up to 10 filters. So now I've used filter data on condition card. And in this, I've added a condition whether if the sales invoice selected, the services selected is implementation and integration, then it has to merge and combine the documents which is selected by me. So in this combined files, I have selected 3 documents, which is merged file, implementation services SLA, and integration services SLA document. And similarly, for the second filter, I have added if it is integration. And similarly for the third one, if it is just implementation. So using these conditions, I'll be able to route or filter the data that I'm getting and make sure that the workflow is selected in a particular way. So here you can see that in this, I'm combining the files, merged file, the implementation service on the right hand. So here you can see that these are the documents that I'm going to combine. So now based on my selection, I'll be able to filter and send out the data and combine files and send it via email. So let me just show you and run the merge so that you get a clear idea on how it works in real time. So let me go to the field. So since I have added this template in CRM, so what I'll do is I'll be able to directly mail merge from the CRM record itself. So CRM templates, I have added this document under mail merge. So my template name is invoice for partnership. You know, I'm just merging this. I'm getting a merged document. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go ahead and run the merge. So it will give you a preview of the settings that we have configured. So we just have to have a quick check and then run it. Okay. So I'm good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and proceed. So if you'd like to pass all the values to all the scenarios, then you can make use of route files. So here I'm just going to use the filter option. So this is there is a difference between filter. So filter is considered as a radio button, whereas route is considered as a checkbox, so that the values pass through all the cards that you have added. So let us check the logs. So we'll just wait for the merge operation to get completed. So now once the merge operation is completed, we'll be able to check the exact process on which the merge operation is running currently. So if we are combining the files or if we are sending it to email, so all these can be checked by clicking the link here. You can get a real-time update on the current automation that you have configured. So here you can see that the merge operation is initiated, the data is filtered, and since the data source contains both implementation and integration, it went to the first scenario and it is currently combining the files and it is waiting for the combined files to be sent via email. So if you'd like, you can also just hit refresh and check if there are any updates for this. So yes, you can see that the merge operation is completed. The files are combined together, and then it is also sent via email, which is currently in progress. So once completed, you'll be able to check out the email as well. So now I'll just open the invoice and the SLA document for your quick reference. So here you can see that the invoice is generated with all the transaction details and along with the total amount as well. So user has selected implementation and integration service. And now further moving down, you can see that the implementation service SLA document is available. And further moving down, you'll also find the integration service SLA document. So all these three documents are combined together and it is sent via email as a single email and a single document. So this is how easy it is for you to use the new automation builder to configure such complex workflows and generate documents and send it out to your customers or clients.
Great. Thank you so much for that explanation on the invoice generation document, Gautam. And now let's move on to the next one, which is sales order management. So now let's see how your clients can make a payment for a chosen service package where Zoho Writer automatically generates the sales order confirmation. So this document will include purchase services, agreed timelines, and the payment details. And it is shared with your clients and simultaneously stored in OneDrive for internal tracking, which ensures smooth project initiation without any manual follow-ups. So now let's see them in action.
So here, the main idea of this particular order management is that we'll be saving this to the work drive so that the internal team can ensure the delivered time or the timeline as well. So they'll be able to check and make sure that the product is delivered accordingly. So now let's just go to the sales order confirmation. So this is a sales order confirmation and we have the customer details, partner details, and in this date field, we have added the estimation completed date as well. So let's say it's going to be 1 or 2 months or whenever the SLA is, you'll be able to add the estimated completion date, and then you'll be able to store this document into OneDrive so that the internal team members will be able to check and they'll be able to work accordingly so that the product is delivered at the mentioned delivery date. So now once these information is added, all we have to do is just go to merge and store operation. And in here, you'll be able to store the document. So you can select a folder, and not only that, you'll be able to dynamically create folders and store into the OneDrive as well. So here you can see that you'll be able to pull the merge fields and add folders as well. So let's just say I have the sales name, and furthermore, I want the sales owner or the sales owner name to be reflected in the document in the folder. So that I need to structure the folders in such a way that I'll be able to easily access the documents that are getting generated using this operation. So now, once this operation is done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on save and run the merge. So here we have all the subform details available, which is the services selected by the member and the estimation completed date, which will be required for the internal team to ensure their deliverability, and also the assigned project manager is also listed in this particular document. So now once we run the merge, you can see that all the documents will be generated and it will be stored in the required destination as per our configuration. So now once this is done, if you require, you can also send this as a confirmation copy to your customers as well. So all you have to do is just click on merge and send via email and configure the email address of the customer using the merge field and then send it to your customer.
Now, Gautam, for walking us through sales and process orders gave us a good clarity on it. So now let's move on to automating these documents with the post-sales operation. So these typically include delivery challans, delivery notes, and other records that track project completion and service delivery. So in our scenario, we'll focus on the service completion report, which formalizes the completion of a service or project and keeps everything documented for accountability. So this service completion report is like generated once a project is completed, and the partner team uses Zoho Writer to get this done. So this document captures project details, completion date, and the scope of work. It's then sent to the customer for review and acknowledgement via Zoho Sign. And once it is digitally signed, it's securely stored in OneDrive or linked to the CRM for complete service history. So with this, all documentation from project initiation to completion is streamlined and organized. So can you walk us through on how this service completion report is done and stored, Gautam?
Definitely, Siri. So as you mentioned, yes, it is a complete overall structure where from the initiation to the extent of the end of the workflow, we'll be able to cover everything within the single tool. So now let me just quickly jump over to Writer. And here is a service completion report. So we have created this document with the information that we have in Zoho CRM. So the main idea is that once the service operation is completed, so the services that the user selected is completed, we are just going to send a completion report with the total amount that they have paid, and if there is any amount due, then we are going to make sure that that is also mentioned. So furthermore, we are also going to send a document to the customer where they'll be able to put in their signatures into the document. So here you can see that we have added a sequence number. So using the sequence number, we'll be able to generate an automatic sequence according to your preference. So we just get into the field section. So you have an option called document sequence. So using this, you'll be able to create a document sequence structure. So for example, if I want a prefix of invoice, and the number has to start from, let's say, 0001, and add some suffix as well. So I can, like this, I'll be able to create a document sequence and insert it into my document, so that every time the document is generated, the sequence number will be incremented accordingly. So now I have inserted a sequence number for that as well. And I've also inserted a subcon table, which contains all the services selected or that was completed. And furthermore, I have also added the customer signature as well as the assigned manager signature. So the manager who looks over the entire implementation or integration is also going to sign this document. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to merge and send for sign collection on the output settings. And here you can see that I have configured both the signers, signer A and signer B. If required, I can also enable this button so that only after the signer A signs the document will be sent to the second customer. So now I have also added the document name, which is the sales name and the sales owner's name. And furthermore, I have also configured advanced settings. So here you can see that I have enabled custom function in this section. So let me quickly open up the custom function. So this is nothing but a custom function that is already available in our gallery section. So if you get into our gallery section, you can make use of this option to push the signed document across various platforms. So if you want, once the sign operation is completed, if you'd like to send it to Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox or attached to CRM or any other application that is available, you'll be able to make use of these functions that we have in the gallery. Or else you can also write your own custom function and push to across various applications. So in this case, I've used attached to Zoho CRM function. And once I click on use, all I have to do is just follow the instructions available on the first few lines. So here, I have to create a deluge connection for the Zoho Sign service, and the connection is already created. And now, once the connection is created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the the module name. So by default, leads would be the module. So I have changed that to sales underscore invoice. So I have pulled this information from the API names available in the CRM section. So now, furthermore, I've also used the ID, which is already got from the CRM while we perform the merge, and we will be able to use this ID to match the record and attach the document in that appropriate record. So all these are the three simple instructions that I need to follow to enable this custom function. So now I have done this, and now I'm just going to save and link the function. Now, once that is done, all I have to do is just get into the particular record and perform the merge and run the merge. So let me just get into CRM, and let me go to save invoice, and I'll select the first record, which I have the email configured, and check if there are any attachments. So yeah, there are no attachments. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the merge. Select main merge, select the service completion report, and click on merge. Yes, the merge can be initiated. I'll just go ahead and run the merge because I've already configured all the settings. I'm good to go. I'll just run the merge. So for this, in order to showcase this entire demo, what I've done is I've configured both signer A and signer B as myself. So I'll be signing twice. So just give me a few minutes. I'll let the email get in. Here is the invoice document that we have previously created. So let's just wait for the email to receive. So I'll be getting two different notifications to sign the document. Let's just wait for a few more minutes. So in the meantime, I'll also be able to check the log page, and I'll be able to track the signature as well. So yes, it's now sent for sign collection and it is waiting for signature. So let me just get into the email section. So I'll just first sign this document. So we have a direct integration with Zoho Sign. So all you have to do is just click on the link and go ahead and sign the document. So there will not be any other tool required for you to purchase additionally or anything. So within the Writer's UI, you'll be able to configure this and you'll be able to put in your signature and complete it. So yes, now I've completed the customer signature. So let me just quickly jump over to the assigned manager's signature. Just click on start signing. Finished. So now the signing process is completed. So as per the configuration that we have done, once the sign operation is completed, we need the document to be pushed back to the CRM in that particular record. So let's just wait for the signing process to get updated. Yeah, here you can see that the first signer is completed and the second signer is also completed. And yes, the document is also generated and it's been pushed to CRM. So the custom function is being executed. So let me just quickly get into the CRM and check if we have received any documents. I'll just refresh the page once and go to the attachment section. Yes, as you can see, I'll be able to find the entire service completion report along with the signatures of the customer as well as the assigned manager. Yes, here you can see that the signatures are also available. So this ensures that without leaving the application or jumping between application, you'll be able to perform a complete automation from generating the documents to the completion of the service. So all from sales to pre-sales and post-sales, you'll be able to configure everything under one single tool, which is Zoho Writer, in using various integrations that is available. Now, let me just, yeah, that's about the demo sessions. So apart from this, in addition to the core sales and post-sales documents, partner teams also handle a variety of supporting documents. For example, when responding to a new opportunity, they might prepare RFP responses or share sales playbooks to align the team. For new partners or clients, partner agreements and onboarding kits or welcome letters help set expectations clearly. So these also, they also maintain pricing catalogs to quickly share accurate product or service rates and track performance with sales reports or performance summaries, etc. So all these documents can be created within Zoho Writer as well. And all of these documents can be created and managed, and as well as you can automate using these options that we showcased today. So these same scenarios and workflows can be applied across other sectors as well. So not only for partners, so you can apply these scenarios across various departments, and you'll be able to perform sales and pre-sales operations with ease. So this makes Writer a versatile tool for any industries. So before we wrap up, let me just give you a quick sneak peek on what's coming soon. So first, we are expanding the e-sign options. So along with Zoho Sign, you will soon be able to use DocuSign or Adobe DigiSign. So this gives your team the flexibility to meet different client or partner requirements. And furthermore, we also have content library, which is also called Quick Paths. So think of it as a centralized hub for your sales materials like brochures, proposals, product sheets, or case studies. So terms can be quickly accessed and reused. So when we talk about Quick Paths, so many might be wondering what exactly Quick Paths is. Let me showcase you that as well. So here, you can add certain functions, certain frequently used terms as Quick Paths. So here you can see that I have added the entire address of the company under the quick text option. So you can just simply select this and it will be inserted into the document. And not only that, we also have autocorrect options available. So using which terms like complex terms can be easily entered. So here, let's say you enter NDA, that actually autocorrects to this agreement shall remain in confidential and etc. So if you add CONF, then it detects as confidential information. So all you have to do is just make sure that you add these options when you create the documents as well. So while we talk about quick text, we have also providing an enhancement, which is the Quick Paths, which is a centralized content library. And we are also adding options for label generation. So this will allow you to automatically generate product or SKU labels as well as shipping labels, all tied directly to your CRM or order data. So this is a big time saver for companies that need accurate branded labels. And finally, we are enhancing the review and approval workflow. So while we provide this update, this extends collaboration beyond internal teams. So for as of now, review and approval workflow can be sent within the team, whereas we are extending that to external parties as well. So you can send out the documents to your clients, vendors, or partners for approval process.
And so with that being said, thank you so much for your time in the webinar, and see you all soon in the next session. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.